We used to whisper to one another. Well, no, I wouldn't hear it, but I would read it. That slightly transparent text meant that I was the only one who could see it. He types, "Hurry, because I'm tired of playing with these noobs," and I scurry through my math homework. I say, "I'll be back soon," and as nerdy as this sounds, yes, I'm talking StarCraft chat rooms. Start of the game, he always had a strategy, and he handled his minerals and gas so efficiently, though occasionally he would show me the money, but cheating is okay so as long as he doesn't cheat on me, and I'd know because we were always on the same team. See, we went to the same middle school and even had a same class, but we didn't really talk because I couldn't talk very fast. I understood ideas of what was being said, but Vietnamese first, and then I translated in my head. And by the time I caught up, the conversation was dead. People would move on, people forget what they said. That's why I preferred the internet instead. There, the conversations would wait for me in organized threads. You wouldn't think so now, but talking was hard for me. I wasn't quite sure what his reason was, but I thank God for it, because when I needed an ear, though he wasn't here, he would offer it. So when he said he needed a partner, I was all for it. So with a controller or a mouse or arrows, we were determined to prove that we, too, could be heroes. Heroes who couldn't yet drive, so our dates were mostly online. So for the next decade, I was his aide as we mastered the next video gaming craze. Together, we would dominate any world, any dimension, any legend, any league that dared speak of our names. Persephone and Achilles. He said, when you press start, you can be anyone you want to be. It's just you and me, and that world can be our enemy. You don't have to be a part of a family that doesn't seem to want you, and you aren't pressured to talk if you don't want to. No one will make fun of you for your slowness. See, Link doesn't even talk, and nobody seems to notice. And so I could be a human with big boobs and blue eyes, and he a night elf with six-pack and biceps. Our Shadow Morn Thunder Fury in our hands, we had plans to dominate, to go wherever the World Wide Web would take. Now that's a hell of a spontaneous date. I could tell he knew how to treat a lady real soon when I saw the way he courted Potpourri and Harvest Moon. Our relationship would grow by leaps and bounds in Super Mario, and during arguments, to make things lighter, he'd let me use Blanca to kick his ass on Street Fighter. And sometimes on dates, I would catch him staring, though instead of the kiss, he would always go for the Baron. And at Rocky's Replay in Orlando, Florida, we had our first dance. Well, sorta. We didn't look like we were on the same track because I was on basic and he played Maniac, but it was still really sweet because I was really slow with my feet and he was there to save me. When I said this isn't really for me, this is such a disaster, he said it's not about the speed, not about who does it faster, and so he played Bumblebee and taught me the moves backwards. Looking back now, I think, wow, we categorize DDR as flirting. If you haven't caught on by now, we were pretty nerdy. But looking back today with more self-esteem, I say my childhood doesn't seem half bad. But what happens when you don't have the confidence to say that, to talk about something that once got you laughed at and looked down upon? Playing those video games will teach you nothing. Why can't you be one of those nerds who likes books or something? Will you come with me to homecoming? Oh wait, the girl I originally asked changed her mind and said yes. Oh, that's awkward. You already bought your dress? So my attempts at being cool weren't very great. High school was a cruel place for those who bloom late. Not athletic enough to be popular, not pretty enough to just be seen, not smart enough to be considered a geek, and not normal enough to just be. Until I turned on my computer screen, I saw Achilles was still there for me. He said, one thing I've learned is to not care, and if you ignore them long enough, they won't stare. Don't you put on opinions that they wear. They think we didn't learn anything in that game room. I didn't know what a sickle was until Harvest Moon. Do you remember learning about Roman gods, how to run a city, how to be a leader? Do you remember reservoirs and aqueducts and raw materials through Caesar? And when it comes to abilities, we learn to balance when we choose them, cause with agility, strength, endurance, you win some, you lose some. And even if it didn't help, don't tell me you didn't tell yourself to feel better on your first real drive cause you've done it before 1,000 times on Twisted Metal or Grand Theft Auto. And how about the first time you read a map? I bet it wasn't in geography class. So let me tell you a secret, man. They can watch me play, but they are not me. They will never know what the forest taught me. And that's when you got me. You helped me learn to embrace myself and just be, and be proud of the product of scarcity and creativity. College for me was a journey not so much about learning, but to find myself and a purpose too. But it seems after 4 years, I found myself, but I lost you. And no, let's not blame it on how busy I got because I always made time. And it wasn't how busy you got because you were always online. I don't know how we got here, but I called every day. Did you ignore me too until I looked away? You said I don't understand, as if we weren't on the same team. Remember, I was on the same screen thinking the same thing, that they don't understand. You said when you press start, you can be anyone you want to be, but when you wake up, is someone telling you who you have to be? You told me to embrace my talents, and that's what I'm trying to do. But if I listen to your advice, then aren't you supposed to? You hold that controller just to let that game control you. And I know the feeling, finally being a hero somewhere, getting the girl, saving the princess, completing the quest. But if you truly believe that you can fulfill yourself within that computer screen, then I must have had a skewed vision of your dream. Because I remember a bright young man who couldn't wait to see the world, who dismissed a bucket list he made with who I thought was a special girl, who said when we have the freedom and the means, we'll go wherever the world needs. Wherever the people are, we will be. You and me. I want to see us about this world, and then I want to see us without this world. A place where no matter how loud we shouted, we'd be fine, but I doubt it, because you don't need me, you just need a fucking outlet. You said in the real world, there are too many villains in disguise, but what about our heroes who just look like average guys? One who can't change time nor sound, but chatted with me at nights to turn my life around. See, I turned off my computer screen, and when I opened my eyes, I could be anyone I want to be. It's you and me, and the world is not our enemy. I vowed that no objects in this world would again affect me, and to never neglect my friends nor my family, because I need them. They are my stamina and energy. I don't need magic mushrooms or power berries, so my question is, do you need me? Because while the world doesn't seem to love you, I'm standing here in front of you saying that I do. You used to joke and say that I owed you many lives, but without you, I really wouldn't have mine. In a game, it's much easier to choose, but how many real lives can you afford to lose?